Hey guys, I am going to be doing my second vlog today on William Faulkner's story titled Barn Burning. And I got some notes on a computer screen over here, so I apologize in advance if I'm not always looking directly into the camera. But, so, Barn Burning, it's the story we had to read on for last Thursday, but we didn't have class. And it's an interesting story. I found it very intriguing to me, which is a very general thought, but it was intriguing in the sense that the main character, or the main hero, I guess is the better word, our protagonist was the 10-year-old boy, who they called Sardi. And really, the antagonist was his father, which, you know, I don't know, it seems kind of odd to have that kind of clash between the youth and the old, and that's probably one of the major themes that I took away from the story was, you know, the young versus old and all that. But there's plenty of other things to talk about. I wanted to start with the idea of the judicial system and what is fair and what is just. Obviously, not everybody can agree on everything, especially when it comes to the letter of the law. There's a lot of interpretations in court and such. So the fact that they have, this is like a 10-page story and they have two different scenes with the court involved, I think he's really trying to hint at something there, you know, something bigger than that, you know. And it's strange how the youth thinks the court system's being fair, where the dad wants the son to lie to kind of protect his name and his identity as a person. And I think that's a really hard, narrative to push because, you know, as readers, we're trying to figure out who should we side with, kind of. Like, is the dad, would you lie to protect your own family? You know, should the boy be lying to protect his own father? Or should he be telling the truth and telling him what actually happened and turning his own father in? I mean, there's a level of ethics there that comes into play, and it's one of those questions, you know, like, would you steal food to feed your starving family? It's one of those kind of crazy open-ended questions that doesn't really have a right answer per se. You could definitely argue both sides. You know, he should lie to protect his dad because that's family. You know, family first. You always have your family's back, no matter the situation. But on the other hand, you don't want to break the law to try and protect someone. You know, there's a certain point at which, you know, lying just isn't. You know, you gotta come clean and tell the truth. So I found that part really interesting in and of itself, and that also brought about a theme of choice, because choice. You know, the boy had all these different options riddled throughout to choose what he was going to do. And you can really see it towards the end on page 781. I got the book right here. When he finally like comes to his senses, you can kind of see it. You can kind of hear it in his dialogue. When the father says, quote, "Go to the barn and get that can of oil we were oiling the wagon with," he said. The boy did not move. Then he could speak. And the boy says, What are you?" And the father just says, "Go get that oil. Go." And I think that really plays into, like, you know, that's the point in the story where the boy finally realizes, okay, my dad's pretty crazy and I need to do something about this, and maybe I can save someone and we can all get away from this before somebody gets seriously hurt. So then the boy, he runs to go get the oil, and even when he's running, you could quote, he's in his head, he's thinking, I could keep on, I could run on and never look back, never need to see his face again, only I can't. And then it says he's got the oil in his hand and he's running back to give it to his father. Like, he just has this thought of running away forever, but he knows he can't do it. And then he finally makes the choice after he delivers it. Mom tries to hold him back from telling the owner of the barn, but of course the boy escapes, gets to the owner, tells him, and then just runs away after that point. And then the owner goes down and presumably shoots the dad dead. I mean, it doesn't it says shots were fired. It doesn't explicitly say the father was killed, but presumably kills him. So the idea of justice and what's fair plays an essential role in this story, and also the idea of choice and all this ethics stuff, you know, that comes up. It makes it a really interesting read, and one I found very enjoyable, because it's just one of those open-ended stories. You can interpret it however you want, you can side with whoever you want, and I think that's the best kind of stories. And it wasn't too long either, so I got to enjoy that part of it. But that's all I got for this. Hope you guys get a good discussion going out of this and have some thoughts to share, but that's going to be it for me. So I will see you in the third and final vlog. sometime later this semester. Thanks.